Hello and welcome to this episode of Steve Unpacks in Portland. As you can see, we've unpacked a lot of boxes together. So let's see what's in this one. I hope there's some knife games in here. The box that we are opening together is Steve's War Game plus Jenga and signed Quirkle box of games #6. All right. So this box has some great filler, and probably one of my favorite games in this box is Quirkle. This is really blurry. Quirkle. So I've had. Pretty sure I had a big copy of Quirkle, or maybe Tiffany did. This is a tiny one. We got it in Europe. It's great. It's just as good as normal Quirkle, but it's half the size. This is my favorite Quirkle. It's good. Then we have Attraction. This is one of Tiffany's games, and I've never played it. Apparently it's good. The rules are on this card thing. And Attraction is Hearts of Attraction. It is a dexterity game. It is described as place all the hearts on a smooth surface so that no two hearts are touching. Players take one heart to use as their first shooter. Randomly select one player to start. Sounds awesome. So we should totally play this sometime. We're done with that. Next up we have Martian dice, which is like zombie dice but fun. It's a TMG dice game. There's a bunch of really cool dice in here. It's sort of a press your luck. I reviewed it once on Tiffany's channel when she was brain dead from surgery, and it was fun to actually play a game that I could play with her when she was brain dead. That's a fun review. I think that was on Spooning Meeples. Next up we have Jenga, which is the mini version of our large version of Jenga, which is made out of 2x4s and is in a giant tub in the storage unit. This miniature version plays on a table instead of being played outside, and it's not as destructive when it all falls over, so this is a good mini version of Jenga. What else? And then looks like we have a whole bunch of my war games in this box, so I will try to go through this as quickly as possible. Let's see. First up, we have my copy of Fields of Fire. This is a solitaire card game, which uses hex and counter. It's by Ben Hull. It is a super awesome game because it is a card game with, 880 counters and like over 200 cards. It is a solitaire game where you run a U.S. infantry company in either World War II, Korea, or Vietnam, and it is one of the best solitaire games I've played. Some missions can take maybe 5 to 8 hours, and you should just not even read the rule book. You just read how to play on BGG. So this is awesome. It should be coming back into print. Next up is my copy of Heroes of the Gap, which I have only played, I believe, once. This is the World War III version of a system that was done by Lock and Load Games. It's small unit combat in a war that didn't happen. Tank, individual squad scale. This is good fun. I need to play this. The Lock and Load games like this tended to be solitaire friendly, so that's why I had a bunch of them. Then, next up is a game that I really want to do a series about. It is Thunderbolt Apache Leader. It is the close air support solitaire strategy game. It's by Dan Verson Games. You basically, you're like in all those like jet fighter movies, you're like basically like one of the guys in the control room, you know, planning the missions and pushing the little things around on the screen. You're basically running a unit of helicopters and planes, and you've got individual pilots that you manage, and it's basically like managing a sports team or something. It's super cool. Your pilots like gain rank and go on missions and get injured, and it's super fun. I like solitaire games like this that have like a lot of like meat and things that you do. Like they're not, because you don't have other players to be like, why is this taking so long? Because it's just you. So this is awesome. Next up is my entire World at War collection, so I'll be pretty quick about that. World at War started with this game, World at War Rising Gap, a couple years ago. It's by Lock and Load Games. It is a platoon level 2-player war game, which is set in a sort of fictional World War III. One of the reasons I like it is it's solitaire friendly, because you determine basically which sides units go by pulling a counter out of a cup. So it's easy to play solo and still be not sure who's going to win. The games play pretty quick, they're pretty expandable, and there were a lot of modules. So this one was the Americans versus the Soviets. If you like trashy World War III fiction, this was basically the game version of the book Team Yankee. And if any of you played the video game version of Team Yankee, that was on the Amiga, shout out. Next up, the Blood and Bridges module. This one brought the British and the United Kingdom and air power into the mix. This one was good fun. This module was mostly designed by one of the guys that did the computer game, designed the computer game Flashpoint Germany, which is another platoon level World War III game on a computer. So he was tapped, so he really made this shine. Next up is the Operation Garbo module. This one was designed to bring Sweden into it. This one was good fun. And then next up is the Untold Stories. This was a standalone module that brought the Low Countries into the war, so Belgium, the Netherlands, well, you know, all those countries, East Germany, Poland. This module was really a lot of fun. And then next up, Into the Breach. This is another module. All those other modules, a lot of them just really needed more tanks. So this module brought more tanks. This one I actually got on a pre-order system to help support them. So it was kind of like Kickstarter, but not. So I got like a special edition version of this with an extra campaign. So it's rad. And then lastly, we have my copy of America Conquered, which is the module that brought this system back to America. So it's sort of like, you know, there's like the, basically like you fight the Second Texas War of Independence. It just really reminds me of whatever that Chuck Norris movie was, where he saves Florida. Invasion USA, yeah, that has that total vibe to it. So this one was a little bit more, kind of more fun. You know, has like airboats and cavalry and stuff than the other ones. Then lastly, I've got the rules to Heroes of the Gap, and then I've got the magazine, which is a Afghan expansion. So you actually play Heroes of the Gap, but instead of fictional, you play it actually in Afghanistan. And that's it. So, final thoughts. It's really taped these boxes. Next time I'm maybe gonna use less tape. Maybe not. That was a really heavy box. Don't really want to look at the camera while I'm cutting, unless you guys, you know, you guys don't want to see me cut myself, dude. So, final thoughts. I'd sort of forgotten how many modules in that one system that I had. The World at War series is really a lot of fun. I might slim down that collection. Depends if I can find people to play it with more. It reminds me, I really want to play another full game of Fields of Fire. It's, from what I've read, it's basically impenetrable. Unless you get all the player aids from BGG, but it's a well-loved solitaire game. And I really want to play more Thunderbolt Apache Weaver. That one's really a lot of fun. Just depends if you're able to actually leave it set up so you can play a larger campaign. and I really want to play Quirkle and Jenga. So, hope you guys liked it. Hope that wasn't too long. And I will see you guys in the next box.